Well, we recognize that the future of our economy, the future of America's strength is innovation. And so what the independent inventors are out there doing is what's made America great. And we want to do everything we can to make America the best place in the world to innovate. And so we're particularly proud of our people. I travel internationally, and I work with every major office in the world and probably every minor office in the world. And I'm proud to know that everyone says our examiners here and the folks we have working here really want to get it right. And we want to get it right because every one of the people who's here has taken a sworn duty and oath to the Constitution of the United States. And I think we have people that really believe that what these independent inventors bring is not only great new ideas, but they improve our economy, they save our lives, and I think folks here feel like they're really part of something big. Absolutely. The very first place I'd tell any inventor to go to is to our website. It's www.uspto.gov. It's won awards for the best website in the federal government. We've just revamped it. It's really got a lot of information, and it's meant to be user-friendly. But everything from what a trademark is to what a patent is, what you need to do to file in the United States, how you need to think about it if you want to file internationally. You can do a search on our website. If you've got a great idea, but you want to know if anybody else has ever produced this idea, we have 7 million patents we've issued, so you can search every one of those on our website and find out if it's a new idea or if this has been developed before. Inventors should be very careful for anything they see on TV, particularly a late-night television commercial where they're told something that's too good to be true. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And so while there are wonderful new ideas being developed by Americans every day, there are a number of invention scam companies, quite honestly, that try to take advantage of that earnestness and goodwill, that enthusiasm of the inventor. In fact, it's a $200 million a year business, just the invention scam business. So what we try to tell people is, again, if it's too good to be true, then it may well be. There are protections under the law that make certain that any company with whom you work, before you spend any money with a development firm, make certain that they have disclosed to you some of the things they fundamentally need to disclose under the law. How many clients have they had in the past? How many clients have been successful? How many have licensed inventions? We encourage you to come to, we have a brochure that gives you the top 10 questions to ask, the top 10 things to think about. And you can get that at our website. We can also give you an inventor's hotline number that you can call for that. You also want to check, they have to disclose to you any invention companies they've worked with in the past, because unfortunately, we've had some success of closing some invention scam companies down and they start up again under another name. So we encourage people to come to our website, check before they write a check to anyone for an invention development, particularly if they're very eager to get your money and get your money up front. Also, you can check with the Better Business Bureau. You can check with the FTC, and you can check with your local Attorney General office. Yeah, I think everyday inventors, ordinary inventors, should be concerned about international protection. They might choose not to get international protection, but in today's world where there's almost no borders, we've seen that inventors who developed a product in the United States and gotten a patent in the United States have found that they have had their product ripped off in international markets in countries where they don't have patents. So we encourage inventors very early on, just think of it as part of your business plan. Find out where you need protection, probably in the United States, and then think about whether or not you need protection in China or do you need it in South America. Any market that you might want to develop or where you don't want to have your product stolen, you want to at least consider getting patent protection. It is difficult. You have to get a patent in each nation where you want protection, so it is more difficult. We do have resources we can offer inventors, so at least they're informed. And of course, it's more expensive. You have to file patents in each of the countries if you want protection there. But there are at least 3 resources that we offer here. The first is a website, www.stopfakes.gov/small-business. That's geared towards small businesses. The second opportunity we have international lawyers who are versed in patents and trademarks here in the office. If you call 1-866-999-HALT, you will have the opportunity to speak to an international intellectual property attorney. And while we can't give legal advice, we can certainly give the landscape for countries and help give advice to businesses, particularly if they think they've been ripped off in a foreign country. And finally, we conduct seminars throughout the country. We go to about 6 different cities have a 2-day seminar where we work with small businesses and independent inventors, both telling them how to apply for protection in the United States, and if they choose, how they might go about doing that internationally. Originally, it's the inventor who has to take all the steps to make sure they're documenting themselves. And the hope is that you've got such good notes that you know you're the first inventor. And in the United States, it's really the only country in the world that it matters that you're first inventor, because it's the first inventor to file throughout the rest of the world. So the magical moment is you must be an inventor, but then you file. But in the United States, if we have 2 inventors and they both claim to have the invention, then we have to determine when did they invent. And there you go back to, if it's a biotechnology, you go back to lab notes. If it's an inventor of a garbage can top, then you go back and find out, well, what notes do you have? What can you do to prove that you conceived of the idea by such and such a date? I mean, it could be notes on the back of a napkin, but the better you do, the more organized you are, the better off you are. And secondly, when did you start to bring that into practice? When did you start to develop that? So in the United States, it's important for that inventor to know, keep good notes as you go through. You have the eureka moment. It might happen in the middle of the night, but the next day or that next week, make sure you write down in detail what you're conceiving of, what you think the whole scope of the invention is. Find a way to date that. If you find yourself having applied to the office and the office lets you know that there's someone else who's there, then you get into an interference proceeding. And then it is likely that you'd want to have a lawyer or some kind of representation, because it's basically a legal argument here at the office. It's like an appeal of a patent, trying to determine who was the first to invent. Telling a neighbor shouldn't necessarily affect the grace period, but it might. Quite honestly, the year grace period, what you don't want to do is have your idea published in any way. If you told your neighbor you had a great idea, that idea then gets published somewhere else, then you'll lose. So the best idea is use disclosure statements if you're telling anybody else. Keep your idea to yourself until you're ready to disclose it. And certainly try to disclose it as quickly as you can.